Me either.
All right.
But we're here.
We are live. We are live. We
What's up,
are
party people?
live.
Woo! Running from workout straight into show, straight from coaching straight into show. It's exciting up here.
It's a good day.
I mean,
It's a dang good day.
it was a close call. I felt like a celebrity for just a second. Except we needed more assistance. I need like 3 Emilys. Send help. Send help.
Oh my gosh, she keeps telling us. She's like, I'm never going anywhere. It reminds me of like Wedding Crash. Exactly. She's like, yeah.
She's never seen it. So, and she also has red hair, that girl.
I know!
Yeah. I know. But
It's a great movie.
It's this really creepy girl.
She's a very creepy girl. She get it from her mama, or she get the name. All right. So, happy Friday, Freestyle Friday. I'm one of your hosts today. I am Kendima.
And I'm Casey.
And what is up? What is up? So, if anybody's out there, please say hello to us on this feed. We cannot see who you are, but we appreciate you for joining us today. So we're going to get right into it today. And we're going to talk about a little something.
We're going to talk about some addiction and if there is anything in your life that's controlling you. And I think it's so funny because our society has really hammered addiction and you just think, oh, drugs and alcohol, that's pretty much it. But there is so many other things that people struggle with addictively that are maybe not chemical, maybe they are chemical. So we want to kind of dive into that and just talk about if there are some things that you are maybe struggling with. I think this comes about because having a story of addiction in my personal background, it is very freeing to know that nothing is controlling you. And not that you need to be in control all the time, right? Big man's in control all the time. But as far as something earthly that's in your means to sway one way or another, I think that it's just a really good message. And I think that sometimes when we get into those positions with addiction, that it is something that is very in the closet, behind closed doors. It's the big secret. We don't want to talk about it. We don't share it, so it's very lonely. And I just feel like sharing what we can to try to help anyone that is struggling with any sort of addiction to be made aware of it and to know that, you know, here's some tools to be able to tell what's happening and how to get over that. So these are not necessarily, addictions don't have to necessarily involve chemical behavior or chemical substances, although those are obviously more addicting. So we were kind of chatting before the show about coffee. And I think that's a funny thing. We had the question of the day yesterday that was like, would it be harder for you to give up coffee or alcohol? And it was like a really tough question for a lot of people, myself included. And I thought after it's all said and done, I'm totally addicted to coffee. And then I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm totally addicted to coffee. I should probably stop drinking coffee to just know that I can, right? It's not like coffee has some oh, she's a whole different person because she drinks coffee. And have you seen how crazy she is? That's without the coffee. It doesn't matter.
That's totally me. It's like I'm turning into a new gear when I have a good espresso in my body.
Yeah, Scott should never bring you those coffees. But it is funny. So we'll kind of talk about some addictions as far as chemically, alcohol, coffee. Primarily, there's so much stuff too. I mean, most of our members have kids that are young or getting into teenagerism, whatever, teenagerhood, teenager-ish.
In their teens.
There you go. But let's also hit on some things like social media. TV, video games, your kids' addiction to video games, and we sit there and watch them and just let them be totally psycho addicted to stuff. And we're like, yeah, that's just the way it is now. No, it doesn't have to be. So let's be aware of some things to look out for, because my kid acts like a total a-hole sometimes when he has been on social media too much. So I didn't say the word, I just thought it. Hope he never watches this video.
I'm taking this clip for sure.
Right on Instagram, I'm like, Shane, look at this video.
Don't anybody show him this video. Right. Oh, cut you.
She's not playing.
Yeah.
Just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah. So first key point would be the importance. How important is whatever it is, social media? We'll just use that as an example because I know that's an easy one. Everybody's on social media. It's easy to get distracted. It's easy to get on social media all the time. Emily, are you on social media right now?
She is. That face was so great.
Yeah, she's scrolling. I can tell. Like it's so funny because we, the breaks that we get up here are usually pretty small, but like it's everybody is like go to like, and you can just see the thumb scrolling, and I'm like, you're on Instagram.
Well, it's very
I know
funny
it.
Because my addiction used to be really, really, really hardcore Snapchat. Like, so bad that it was like boom, 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 like literally all day long. And then I stopped getting on Snapchat because I stopped communicating with a lot of people that I used to Snapchat.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, Instagram.
Scrolling.
Scroll.
Yeah.
I probably have the green button next to my name all day long.
Yeah.
She's probably active.
She's been active for 24 hours straight. She never put her phone down. Yeah. So also let's talk about eating as an addiction, right? Healthy and unhealthy.
Both of them.
Binge eating.
Both of them.
Yeah. So the first thing to ask yourself is how important has that become to your sense of self or the way that you live? So this is determined by how much you do it and how big of a priority is it in your life. With social media, you're not even thinking about it. You're not like, oh, it's such a high priority in my day that I get on social media. You're not thinking that. You're just like, let me escape. Yep. Let me procrastinate. Let me get away. Let me just check out, right? We want to check out for a minute. Mm-hmm. So this is an addiction that you're probably not even aware of how much of an addiction it is.
Yep, in your phone history or what? What is that? Screen report?
Yeah.
Yeah, that screen
I don't
report
even like
thing.
looking at that thing.
I mean, it tells you the real business.
I don't ever look. I'm like, your screen time was up 92%. I'm like, dang it.
Yep.
It's hard though because I justify it. Here's what I do.
I
work on my phone all the time. Mm-hmm. I post on 3 different social media accounts daily.
Yep. And you also have to feel you have to dive into and look at which apps are, because they'll say that your screen time's up, right?
Yeah. But you have to see where it's up.
Yeah, you have to see where it's up.
Yeah, I don't ever do that.
And you can look in there and it'll go, you've been on Instagram for 14 hours. You've been on
Snap.
You've been on TikTok for 37 hours.
It made me feel terrible because I don't work on my phone at all. It's like your screen time's up 67% for a total of 6 hours a day.
Yep. Yeah. It's a long time.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. So identifying the importance of whatever activity it is there a reward response? So does it make you feel better? Does it make you feel more in control? Is it making you feel worse? Do you feel guilty afterwards? Like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have done that. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Like, oh, why did I waste that time? So just being aware of those feelings that are associated with whatever it is, whatever activity you're talking about. Taking note of the prevalence or how often you are doing something for the period of time that you're doing it. Are you like, yeah, I'm going to play video games for 15 minutes to just kind of check out. And then 3 hours later, you're like, whoops, it's 3 hours have gone by.
Sure.
Right.
I just got to beat this level. That was I just got to beat this level.
Oh my gosh.
I got to beat this level.
Yeah, so you have this like, it's never enough, right? And this is like prime child right here to me. Like, my kid is like, just one more game, just one more this, what, just a little bit more, bit more, and it's like, bro, just set it down.
Oh yeah, and the dopamine hit that they get from that, or the satisfaction that they get from that, from playing that game, and then you try to take it away after that point, and you're dealing with a monster who's coming off addiction, and they need to withdraw for days.
Yeah, he hasn't had gaming in, I think, a month now. I don't know how. I'm like, man, this sucks. I hate raising kids with technology. It's the worst. It was so much easier to be like, when we were kids, like, go outside and play. Like, go use your imagination. Go use your body. Go
Don't
play.
Don't come back to the streetlights.
That's right. And that's the way it should be.
FYI,
Man, I'm
I grew up in
so
that generation,
old.
too.
I know.
I
We
promise.
know.
Trust me,
Oh,
like leaving. Oh yeah, no.
going outside to play? But
Yeah.
how old were you when you got your first phone?
I don't think I was like maybe 14.
And it had internet.
No, it was the thing where you could like switch the colors on the top of the screen. What's it called? It's like like you could literally take off. It's like a plastic.
Oh, it's like a phone case. Okay.
Yeah, but like it came on the phone, and you could like switch the colors out, and then you'd like, oh my gosh, I can flip it this way and up. Like, this is the coolest thing ever.
I don't know.
Okay, so she had some type of slide phone with a
It was like a
keyboard.
slide phone, and then it could slide upwards too. So I thought I was like the biggest G in the neighborhood. But my biggest memory was like throwing the bikes in the front yard, and my dad's like, "Your bike's gonna get stolen," for like probably 3 years in a row. Every day, that was a conversation we had. You put the bike in the garage, or it's gonna get stolen.
You needed a butt whipping.
I never put it away.
So let's bring this back. Like, what is something that you feel like is something off of the things that we've talked about? I mentioned coffee for myself, which is more of a chemical, caffeine, but I think that there's a lot of other things that make me addicted to coffee as well. It's just the habitual, like, routine. This is what I do when I wake up.
For sure. I think it's one of the things is, if there's not coffee around, I don't even crave coffee. If you have coffee available, I drink coffee because it's available. If I'm with people who drink more coffee, I drink more coffee, right? If I'm with people who work out more, I work out more, right? But I think that's also just in our nature too, though, because, and then once you feel like, and depending on, a lot of these are circumstantial sometimes. Like, there's a hard season of your life, you're engaged in different activities in order to cope, and sometimes, like, I get an itch for working out because it's become such an ingrained habit that I'm like, there's something doesn't feel right. Like, and then I realize, oh man, I need to exercise. Like, I have not exercised. And exercise can become that in a bad way, depending on what your mental state is about it. So for me, top two for sure would be social media, because I can validate using it for work, responding to messages when I post certain things, or etc. And then the other thing is just because I like memes, and I get this huge hit of laughter and joy from memes, and I'm searching for it. So I'm like, oh man, I want to laugh real hard, So a couple times a day, and you can ask them, I am laughing hysterically from my phone.
That's right.
Hysterically. Because of
off
the power.
In the corner.
Yeah.
Just cracking up.
Just chuckling as loud as possible. So I would say for sure those two. I think the other things may be imbalanced enough. I don't really watch Netflix. I don't make time to watch TV. It exhausts me, and it seems to take longer and longer to hold my attention. And so that's probably a response to my social media use, because you get that quick hit and then you move on and you move on and you move on to the next thing. And so I probably think that's why it doesn't, like, trying to watch TV does not hold my focus anymore.
It's exactly why children don't watch movies.
Yep. So
that's it.
100%.
So there's the payoff takes longer than you anticipate, right? And that's why.
Yeah.
And so, like, going to watch a movie this weekend, and I'm excited about it because it's a childhood memory going back to, like, a remake, right? We're going to watch Mortal Kombat. So excited about that because I'm like, oh, this is going to be good.
Yeah. I'm super pumped.
But yeah, those things are probably the most difficult. I think the other things are in balance because I feel maybe some healthy relationships there with those things, as far as eating junk food, eating healthy food. you've eaten healthy food for long enough that when you try to eat junk food, that you're not willing to pay the price for, I say, you just don't feel good. Like, it's not worth it, And some of those things come with costs, that's kind of what I think about for myself. Like, hey, these are the top two for sure.
So it's kind of interesting when we talk about addiction, because coming from an addict background of drugs and alcohol, and finding working out and making that healthy addiction replace the non-healthy addiction was huge. So I think it's really cool because, with social media, there's all kinds of people that have struggled with all kinds of things. Everything that you've ever thought about struggling with, somebody before you has struggled with it as well. So you are not alone, but it is great to find healthy alternatives, working out, and, can you just go, whenever you make the clips, go back, zoom in on your face,
Just now.
and like a lot.
Okay, I was in deep zone thinking. We'll make sure that we record all that part and take it out.
I really need to see that again. Okay. For sure.
I was watching you do it through the Instagram.
Like, I'm just in the zone, like, I'm in my own little world over here, and you're trying to ruin it. Okay?
I know, I'm sorry. It was too good. So we want to also ask ourselves, is whatever it is disrupting our current life or the relationships around us, is it affecting other people? Are you neglecting your children? Are you neglecting your spouse? Are you, whoever is around it, is it affecting the way that you react or treat people? And also, how often do you say that you're going to do something different? Like, oh, I'm not going to do that this week because I'm not going to waste time. I'm not going to procrastinate. I'm not going to get on social media this week, and then you do it anyways. Or I'll get, I'm going to eat healthy this week. Monday rolls around, you're like, shh, dang it, I already messed up. I'll get there next Monday. Next Monday, that's when I'll start eating healthy. Let me just get through this week. I've already messed up. Next Monday gets there. Boom, you made a mistake. Slash those tires again. I'll get to it next Monday, right? It's a real thing. It's absolutely a real thing. So all of these things point to the same sign. If you're struggling with any of these things, or you're asking yourself any of these questions, they all point to addiction. Some obviously not chemical, but just things that we maybe do with our subconscious mind, where we're not present, we're not being mindful or aware, we're just in autopilot, zoning through the day. And let me tell you, to not be in autopilot, side note, is very hard. It is a constant process to stay engaged mentally all day. It is the hardest task to not get distracted, or to be aware when you do get distracted and revert yourself back to whatever task you were doing. Takes a lot of practice, and there are going to be days where you're just too tired. You are literally too tired to stay engaged. And that's when you need to know, like, okay, here, I can't be engaged in this. Let me find a healthy retreat. Maybe I'll go hit a workout. Even if it's a 10-minute workout, that can change your whole morale. It can change, you're getting those natural endorphins, and basically working out can be literally the answer for making it through those addictions. Anytime you're feeling like, man, I know I go and do this habit, or healthy or unhealthy, I go and I don't know, whatever. One is coming to mind, but I don't want to use that one. So you go and do your thing. Maybe you bite your nails. Okay, you bite your nails when you're nervous, or you just need to check out. You kind of enjoy the pain. You're like, whatever you do, you're totally lost my train of thought. You get stuck doing that if you can substitute when you know you're about to do that and change it for, hey, every time that I think that I'm going to go bite my nails, I'm going to get 10 push-ups. And then I'm going to sit and try to do something else for 5 minutes and see how I feel after 5 minutes.
Or you put nail polish remover on your nails so that when you go to bite them, then
Okay,
it's just
I'm talking about more of the mental, not like if that was your actual problem. Walks in halfway through the conversation. Yeah, so if you are struggling with whatever, just trying to break that chain and trying to break that addictive habit that you have of just going straight into it on autopilot, not thinking about it, go into 10 push-ups or meditation, or have a different plan, an alternate route to kind of help you get through that moment. And really, it's just that moment that you need to get through. And will there be another moment? Sure, there will. But once you get through that one, it's like they call it feeding the beast, right? Let's say that your nicotine is your addiction. Let's say that you pretend like you have a monster in your stomach and you feed that monster nicotine all the time. Well, the longer you deprive that monster of nicotine, the less outrageous those cravings become. So like basically you're gonna feel that rile up and be like, oh, I want that. And then the longer that you can make it
without feeding the beast, the more that those feelings subside. They get smaller, they shrink down, they become less often. And that's how people literally overcome addiction every day. You just don't feed it anymore. However, replacing the addiction with a healthy addiction is so much easier than just trying to man up or whatever, like trying to get through each time. That's whenever you start failing. That's whenever you start feeling worse about yourself. I can't do this. I'm never going to get through this. This has got control over my life. You just start feeling like crap. So, I mean, ultimately I've found in my personal walk is that working out literally saves everything. So if you're not working out, work out. Try it.
Yeah.
Give it a shot.
What have you got to lose?
May that be a walk. May that be something else. Something that you've gravitated towards. I think of sometimes trying something new can help in that exercise realm, something that kind of challenges you a little bit. That may sound crazy, but that's me, you know. I feel like I thrive in the harder situation. So the harder it is, the more that I'm willing to step outside myself because I'm afraid to fail. I'm afraid to quit and not fail. Fail, no, but to quit, yes. So doing something that's striving outside of me makes me want to try harder because the fear of quitting is that main driver, and it pushes me to a new perspective, you know. And it may go to say that it may be out of your power to change these things, and you may need to seek professional help. Society kind of shies away from that, almost as if it's kind of taboo to talk about it. But honestly, more people need to be in therapy. And whether things are going good in your life, that's probably the best time to go to therapy, because everything's not catastrophic at this point and everything's not on fire. Like the dog that they show in the meme where the house is on fire and he's like, it's good. Like, if you don't want to be in that situation, you'd rather things be calm and then go get professional help, because that, quite frankly, you're on a mission every day of your life to improve, right? To have things a little bit better than they were before, to seek challenges, to have a better situation. And there's nothing that'll make yourself better, regardless of where you are situationally, than peace, like in true inner peace. So I encourage you, if some of these things are really hard, to seek some professional help for sure.
Cool.
I don't think I have anything else.
I'm all
You were
good
crushing
here.
the show today, though.
Oh, thanks.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
I just stood around and made weird faces in the background.
I can't wait to rehash those faces like right after this show. we have like 5 minutes before clients, so seems like plenty of time to go find that little spot.
That'd be good.
So,
Be real good.
thank you guys so much for watching us today, all one of you.
And up to 5. There's
Yeah.
5. There was 5 at some points.
Yeah. Yeah, there was no fried chicken today.
Maybe
So,
that's why.
yeah, maybe
Dang.
maybe
People really like
next
that
week you
example
boys can have another eating show.
That sounds good. We'll do it on location.
Yeah, I think I have an idea. So,
Okay.
we'll see. But thank you guys. We'll see you next week for Freestyle Friday at 10:30 on Facebook and Instagram Live. You can follow us on both of those pages, DTSOF, or you can follow us on our YouTube page at DTSOF. Is that right?
Yeah, youtube.com/DCSOF.
Blah, 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 blah.
Disclaimer, 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 disclaimer.
All right, guys. Have a happy Friday. We will see you next time.
Later.
Peace. And that's the way the cookie